Sweet moments.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a very natural greeting after we just had a conversation for 5 minutes.
We thought we were rolling.
Yeah, no, we
thought
did.
We were rolling.
We did, but yeah, fine. Let's just continue. So, like, the guy from Hinge.
The guy from Hinge.
So it came from you and your girlfriend. Did she part of it as well, like helping you out?
Yeah. So like, do you want me to just shall I redo the?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So we were. Obviously had that character like in the back of my head for a while, and like one of those things where like something that keeps like nagging you. You're like, okay, I should probably do something. Like I should probably do something. Didn't do anything. And then like one Sunday afternoon, I was like, okay, let's go and do it. Went upstairs, did the thing, and then it like sporadically, like kind of took off. And I think this, yeah, she does help me. And she does help me. And I think I think it's that like grotesque point of view of having someone like that close.
Yeah.
Like, I've had girls messaging me being like, not as in friends of mine, not like random people.
Nice.
Be like, Hugo, I'll be like on my phone in your fucking face. It's just like, I can't get rid of your face. And you've got this like music playing as well.
Yes.
It's like horrible.
What is the music?
I try and tailor it to like kind of like soft boy music, like definitely. Because my girlfriend was like, oh, because she always gives me like ideas as well. Because she's like, I'm like, come on, tell me what happened like with this part, like And she was like, one guy she went on a date with, the next morning, like 6 a.m. before he went to work, was like blasting like classical music.
Oh,
but like
my
singing
God.
along to it.
Wait, singing along to classical? How do you even do that?
I don't know. I think like any kind of like posh white guy, he probably thought he could do everything. Didn't he?
I love that.
He's like, fuck it, I'll give classical music a go.
That is honestly horrendous. Yeah, no, because I love it because obviously when you're scrolling up on Reels, and I think that's probably the reason why it works, is because like those eyes of yours, those piercing blue eyes just stop you in your tracks like fucking hell.
Yeah. I think it's because there's a sense of like, you feel you're being spoken to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the thing.
You're like, I can't like unwatch it.
So you went to drama school?
I did, yeah.
Like instead of uni?
Yeah. So I trained as a chef actually.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned this. Explain that?
So I was at I left school. Obviously, I left school 18. Everyone, like most people, leave at school at 18. Yeah, most people. And I was like, actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like all my friends went to like uni, and I'd always like cooking. Like I'd always enjoy it. There was something about like I'm quite ADHD, as like most people seem to be these days. But like I like the calming element of cooking. Like it always used to calm me down. So I went to Le Cordon Bleu for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
How posh are you? I can't even tell. You're either really posh or really good at putting on a posh accent.
I'll leave you to work that one out.
Hugo Hayes, I wonder.
So I trained at Le Cordon Bleu, and then I went and worked at Claridge's for a year, which was like amazing. Yeah. And then left after a year, not because like I was just kind of like, oh, I don't love this enough. Like the hours those guys and girls work are like incredible, but they pay you like absolute crap. Yeah. So like I was like, listen, I didn't obviously say this to anyone, but in my head I was like, listen, like if you pay me like a banker, I will work all fucking hours of the day. Yep. But if you pay me the equivalent of like £3.50 an hour, why would I want to do that?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Get to see my friends. I don't like, and you had people calling the kitchen like sous chefs, like in any other industry, really senior guys and girls, being like, hey, can you pass me over to my husband? Like, where is he? I've not seen him for like 5 days. Like,
oh my God.
And you're like, I don't really want that life.
Oh my God. The thing is, like, there's something about chefs that just makes them fucking crazy. Like one of my friends, like he used to work at the Savoy.
Okay.
But I think he was just like, he would like wash dishes and then they let him cook a bit. Yeah. And he really, really lapped up like cooking. Like he would fall asleep listening to lives of like dinner service. What? Because like apparently some like restaurants, like fine dining restaurants, will set up cameras so that there can be like a live like reception going.
It's like the
people.
Weirdest white noise ever.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's people going like, order, we're in the weeds, all that stuff.
He just loves it when they're like, main's away.
I love how you know the lingo as well. Did you ever watch like food TV? Was that everything?
Yeah, I was a big fan of like the Nigella Lawson ones are pretty good.
Really, yeah, Nigella.
Yeah, Nigella, man, she's got such like a soothing voice.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Bake Off.
No, I've never been a fan of Bake Off. You know, it's not really been my thing. People go wild for it, don't they?
They do, and I don't get it.
No, it's a bit. It's probably one of those things that people feel like obliged to like say they like.
Exactly.
Like Friends or something like that.
Exactly. Do you like Friends?
I hate it.
I hate Friends so much. I hate Friends with a burning passion.
Modern Family, I'm a big fan of.
Oh, I love Modern Family too.
Man.
Do you watch It's Always Sunny? It's Always Sunny.
No, I need to watch that. So you know when you write lists of programs that you're never gonna watch.
Yeah,
that is on my list.
That is my favorite sitcom of all time, man. Honestly. So like for you, like when like growing up, was there anything like comedically that inspired you massively?
Do you know what? When I was at school, I remember getting like obviously in like those days. I'm 29, so not those days, but like 2011, back in the day, you sound so old. Like,
yeah, I mean, we basically are. Yeah. There are 17-year-old millionaires now. We're dinosaurs.
Like Bitcoin zillionaires. And I remember getting Lee Evans' DVD and just watching it on repeat and being like, man, this is unbelievable what he's doing. Like laugh after laugh, like so much stuff. You're like, oh my, that is like all this stuff about like attempted delivery, like putting like shit in people's letterboxes, like junk mail. I was like, mate, this guy is an absolute genius.
Yeah.
And then I think part of me then must have been like, because I'd always been good at comedy acting.
Yeah.
Like when I went to drama school, that is all I wanted to do. I remember like one voice class, the teacher was like, oh, come on guys, come and have like a little circle, we're gonna like talk about our like feelings and what we want to do like when we leave. And people put up their hands, they were like, oh, you know, I want to go and do like Hamlet in the West End. Like no one wants to see me play Hamlet. and I don't want to play it either.
No,
like,
of course
no,
not.
like so many like, and people laughed at me because I put my hand up and I was like, I just want to go to America and be on Modern Family.
Really?
Yeah. Like it was considered like sacrilege that you would be like, no, I don't want to do theatre, don't be stupid. I was like, I want to go to America and do those like fun shows. Why would you not?
Yeah, why would you not? I mean,
for a starter, the pay is way better.
Yeah, how much do theatre people get paid?
I don't, not very much.
Not very much. That's sad. They should strike.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, fine. No, that makes sense. So then you wanted to do like American comedy. Is that kind of more your inspiration, or is it British as well?
British as well. So I went to drama school and that's all I wanted to do was comedy. But obviously they push you down the route of like all this like, oh, you know, you got to feel loads.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel about that? I was like, I just want to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And then that was the kind of stuff that I was really good at. And I was like a bit rubbish at the other stuff. Mm-hmm. At the time, I'd probably like think I'd be a bit better at it now. But like, I don't know. And then, so when I left, I was like, I'm just going to do stand-up is what I want. Everyone was like, oh, you know, I want to get like an agent. All this kind of stuff. I was like, I just want to do stand-up. Yeah. Because, you know, you hear the stories about people doing stand-up. Like Simon Pegg. Yeah. He was a stand-up.
He was, yeah.
He was, amongst others. There's other examples.
Yeah, there's loads of people.
Yeah. So I was like, if I do stand-up, it will make me a better actor. It's and if I don't do it, well, I know that by doing it, it'll make me better. Mm-hmm. So I'll do it. And then the pandemic started, and then I couldn't do it for 18 months because I also wasn't good enough, or I was too new at that point to be like, I'll do like a Zoom gig.
Oh, did you ever do a Zoom gig?
No.
Those are one
Were they bad?
Worst things in the world. I mean, so for me, I started just before COVID too, but for me, I was like, no, I am going to keep going. It was probably the wrong decision looking back, but I tried the Zoom gigs and it was just awful because even if people were laughing, they wouldn't want to tell you that they're laughing because it's weird. You can't, because the thing about a comedy club that makes it so that loads of people laugh, as part of it is that you're all together.
You catch the laugh.
Exactly. Yeah. If the person next to you is laughing, you're more likely to laugh.
Yeah.
But if you're 100 miles away over Zoom, no one wants to laugh at that.
Were people typing in the chat box lol? This guy's sick, man.
Sometimes people were typing very hurtful things.
Oh shit!
Not to me ever. They were very nice to me, but because as well, the thing about it is how do you have a Zoom link that only certain people can access that doesn't get distributed. Because what would end up happening is some people would take the link and put it on like Twitter and just go for it. Just agents of chaos, just wanting to ruin someone's day.
Who wants to come and see this like open mic for people who've done like 10 gigs?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. But people tried, man.
That's so funny.
People tried.
That's so good.
But I think loads of comedians just ended up doing like TikTok and stuff. That was the big thing.
Yeah, that seems to be where people really like took the ball by the horns and like
it was like, let's fucking
let's do this.
You done any TikTok stuff?
Mate, I'm putting my stuff on TikTok now because originally it was just on Instagram. Mate, those Gen Zers, man, they are brutal.
Are they?
Like vids that do really well on Instagram.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck this guy, man.
Really?
Like, yeah. You're like, I know this is objectively good stuff.
Yeah, this algorithm's good.
But like, there's something about the Gen Zs that they're like, no. They can sniff the like millennial like angst on me.
But you're barely a millennial though, surely. Wait, yeah, you're barely a
94.
millennial.
Is it 96?
It's 97.
97. That's
yeah, because I'm just Gen Z as well. Because I'm 98. That's when my birthday is.
Showing me up, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm youthful and young.
Youthful of young, man.
But now, no, the people on TikTok can be brutal. But I think I don't know what it is about TikTok. I think its effort is almost discouraged in a weird way. It's like they really like videos that look like no one's really trying, that kind of thing, and it's just kind of effortless. But I don't know. It's an impossible thing to crack. I think it just whatever works.
Yeah, don't ask too many questions about what works.
No, you can't. You can't ask me questions. I feel like Instagram makes more sense, but Instagram also is soul crushing as well.
Yeah, I mean, certainly when I don't know how you found it with yours, but like when you start on Instagram, it is brutal. And then you just got to just don't think about it. Just get it up. Get up.
That's the painful thing.
Yeah.
That's the painful
And if you take like a week off, you're fucked.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's such a brutal system. But the thing is, for me, I've noticed that like you'll be posting videos and then they'll get a tiny bit of traction, and you know if you carried on, it would increase. But then if you take a bit of time off and then it goes away, then you're like, well, fuck this. Look at this. Like, you don't want to continue because it just discourages you so much.
The Instagram algorithm is like one of those like motivational speakers. It's like no days off.
Thing is, it might as well be. I was like, do you actually use Reels like properly?
Yeah. I only post to Reels.
Yeah, but as in like on your day-to-day, do you actually scroll through?
No, I don't. So when we were speaking about this, like anything I need to bring, and you were like, oh, look at trending stuff. I was like, no, I don't really look at trends.
Neither do I.
No, like I just like because, and I was speaking to the guy I run this gig with.
Yeah.
In Out Comedy, by the way, if this
go for it.
If you ever want to come and gig with us,
please.
Mate, it's really good.
Please,
really
this is what it's for.
No, perfect. We'll get you on. No worries at all. And he was like, listen, you can do all the stuff where you're like, oh, if I put like, I had one friend who like was doing comedy videos and he'd read somewhere that if you put fashionista in the hashtags,
no,
it would be like him with like a really good piece of stand-up, and then like comedy, stand-up comedy, fashionista.
That's so tragic.
Yeah.
That is honestly so tragic.
But I think all this stuff that you get told that's like gonna hack the algorithm is like complete bullshit.
No, it
like,
is bullshit, yeah.
If you churn out good stuff, it will people will see it, and you can do all the fucking wizardry you like, but it won't work.
Yeah.
If you don't have good content,
you
can fuck off.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. If you don't have good content, you can fuck off. That's grandma.
No, but that's coming from me who like for a long time was like, oh my gosh, why aren't people what's going on? Like what if I did like a cool hashtag or something like that? Like no, like it just wasn't good enough.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's the thing is as well. It's such bullshit when you have to think about that kind of thing. But at the same time, that doesn't matter. The content is important. But then you look at like YouTube where like your thumbnail can be make or fucking break. But I guess Reels is probably a bit different because you never really see the thumbnail because you're kind of just scrolling through. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Obviously, I always put this sticker like I saw other people doing, and that seems to be the thing of like what it's about. Because otherwise people see it, then they have to like clunkily open the comments, and then so you're right. I guess I don't watch other people's content. No. I did at the start. I'm absolutely because I try and spend as little time on those apps as possible.
Yeah.
Because they can That's too probably guys. They do. I'm like subconsciously thinking about this, like when like deep throat the mic.
I love
like,
that. What a podcast virgin. I love
This guy's definitely never done a podcast before.
well, welcome. Glad to take that virginity.
No, but I try and spend as little time watching like other people's stuff because I don't think it's really good. Like, I just hate being on Instagram. Like, I don't think it's particularly good for anyone.
Yeah, of course.
To be sitting there like fucking.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I love it because like everyone knows it's bad, but it's like we all want some of that action.
Well, yeah, and I like. I don't know how good it is for you to like constantly like. Like looking like it's okay in like moderation. It's like sweets or like whatever is your like vice.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. We all have a vice.
Yeah, everyone's got a vice. But like for me, I try not to watch other people's stuff. I love other people's stuff. I follow lots of like great comments. For anyone's like, who does this guy think he is? Like, oh yeah, he's like above everyone's stuff. Just for the record, that I do watch other people's stuff.
Yeah, of course. Keep that on the record.
But I just don't like being on it. Like, I'll try and post and I'll leave it and I'll check back in an hour to see how it's done. And then like, otherwise you're there just like fucking like a rat, like pulling the thing down, you know?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, man. It's so sad. The thing is as well is like, I feel like it's here to stay. That's the sad thing. Is I feel like people younger than us, because I mean, I'm 24, so I'm only 5 years younger than you, but I feel like people younger than us are in that game, are in that rat race, that like slot machine swirling it, like, get that instant dopamine hit. Because I just think like if you're like 10, 12 or whatever now, do you care about films? Like, do you even care about like what's on at the cinema? Like,
do you care about real life?
Exactly. Did you watch Oppenheimer? No, you're watching Mr. Beast because that's what matters.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Yeah, the generation below us, they're fucked.
They are fucked. But I feel like they're more like clear in their nihilism. So like you see people on like TikTok who are like 15 and they're like, yeah, the world is ending, but I've used AI to generate a multi-million-dollar business. Might as well get while the getting's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's it is mad though, because I hate TikTok too, but like TikTok is like my shit. You're
big on TikTok, aren't you? You've got quite a few thousand followers on TikTok.
Yeah, it's like 20. It's 20,000. It's like
20,000 more than I've got.
But the thing is, it's only like it's a few. It's like it came from a 6-month period. Okay. Where in lockdown, I was just like, okay, let me just see what happens if I actually try with this. Yeah. And it did well. A few of my videos went viral. They did well, but then it got to a certain point when I was like, what is the point? Because none of the followers turn into fans, if that makes sense. So like none of the people care about what you're doing. So it's like every video, like you might post one and it'll get like 10,000 views, but then you might post one and it'll get like 100. So it's like, it's not like there's any consistent fan base who are like, yeah, I really fuck with what you're doing, that kind of thing. So it's, you get to a certain point where you're just like, I'm just feeding this app for no reason. Yeah. So that's why I started focusing on other stuff like podcasts, stuff like that.
To then put on the app that
exactly.
You're complaining about feeding.
Exactly. Because the thing is, say what you want, but it's great for marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the saddest thing. So this is your first podcast.
Yeah.
Now, how does it feel?
It's good, man. It's good. It's like a sort of, it's like an extended therapy session.
How do you feel today?
How do I feel? Just talk about yourself, man.
Exactly. Just talk about yourself. The thing is that one of the things I want to do. So I asked you to get some trending things. Yeah. I assume you probably didn't.
I did not.
Did you?
I did not. No.
You look like you were gonna lie for a second.
No.
I was like, what was gonna be the plan?
So I was thinking back like to the part when I was walking down the street and I was like, I don't really do trending stuff.
Yeah, no, of course. The thing is, neither do I. Perfect. But the reason why I wanted to do this was because I find a lot of this stuff interesting. Okay. So what I did is instead of actually getting me to actually find any of this stuff, instead what I did is I asked people on Instagram and TikTok to send me some of their favorite tweets. Okay. So these are the tweets that these shitfuckers sent me. Okay. So here's the prompt. What's normal at 3 p.m. but terrifying at 3 a.m.? Any suggestion? I'll give you the top one. The sound of an ice cream truck.
Yeah, that is fucking terrifying.
That is fucking terrifying.
That is terrifying.
I don't know why. The thing. Okay, I'll give you another one. what feels illegal but isn't?
Instagram.
Follow me on Reels, by the way. Follow me on Reels.
Hugo Hayes.
Walking out of a shop without buying anything. Would you ever do that?
That is true, because you do have that thing where you go in and you look at the security guard and you clock him, and then you walk around and then you clock him clocking you.
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
As you walk out, like, this guy's definitely just stolen. Like, specifically boots. I think always in boots.
It's always in boots as well. It's always in boots. Yeah, like some sort of pharmacy. You're like, I don't want anything in here.
No, you can hold on to your drugs.
Oh, fine. Have you ever watched Toy Story?
Yeah, but not for a not for a while.
I'm
aware of obviously like the plot and stuff.
Yeah. No, here's something that someone sent me about Toy Story.
Okay.
This has ruined the film for me. So my daughter just ruined Toy Story forever. She said if one of the toys died, Andy wouldn't know and he'd carry on playing with its corpse.
Oh, that is deep.
That is fucking.
That's so deep.
That is fucked.
That is deep. That's a good point, actually.
That is a very good point. I mean, how would he even know, like, if any of the toys died? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is horrific. Like, the thing is, I literally just put on my story, send me some tweets and stuff that you enjoy, and that's what people put up.
Do you get people? Do people regularly DM your DM request you and stuff, like weird stuff?
Yes.
What,
like a lot. Like sometimes this is one. I honestly, if I've got this one fan that is just do or die for whatever reason, and like even though at the point when like I was doing TikTok stuff, like I was getting a few people on TikTok, whatever, like watching my videos.
To come back across to Instagram or just DMing
on Instagram,
oh,
like
nice,
a couple
nice,
people.
Crossover.
Yeah, exactly, a couple people. Literally, like this one person was just so keen to come to my open mics, and I was like, "Why? I'm not good. Stop asking to come to my open mics." Especially because like they lived in London and I lived in Bristol, so it'd be an absolute trek.
Okay.
But it's like it's mad. Like some people will see you on TikTok or whatever, and then immediately be like, "Oh, this person." Like I can just message them, whatever. Especially if you don't have a huge fat following.
I do think, I think there's definitely something in like people thinking that not only do you have a small following, but like you definitely engage with everyone. That like you have people I have people message me like think they're my mate.
Really?
Yeah. Like or like you're like it's very flattering. I don't know you.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Or when they'll say your name in the message. Yeah, like you're like. I know you're speaking to me. Like, there's no one else here.
Hi, Hugo.
Yeah, hi, Hugo.
Hi,
like,
Hugo.
yeah. It's so weird.
It is so weird as well, because you're also like, how do you know my name? And then you're like, obviously, I know how you know my name.
That's what your mind goes. How do you fucking know my name?
Exactly, yeah. Okay, fine. This one is a screenshot from a TikTok video. I found this fucking hilarious.
Okay.
I can't lie, but this is horrific. Okay, so the prompt is, weirdest things I did in psychosis. So these are people who've had psychosis.
Yeah.
And this is what one person commented. My friend thought she was Lady Gaga for years. To this day, when she changes her profile picture to Lady Gaga, it means she stopped taking her meds.
Sorry, but I'm not laughing at the psychosis thing.
No, but
that is wild. That is objectively wild.
No, but the fact that someone commented that on TikTok, like as if to out your friend like that's just horrible, man. Oh, man.
You should have been like, tag your mate. We want to know.
Oh, man. The thing is, my girlfriend actually so she wants to be a psychiatrist.
Okay.
So like she's really interested in like mental health and stuff. So like her TikTok, she will get people who like, there's this thing called like psychosis TikTokers who literally will like document when they're in like a psychosis in their like schizophrenia. So as you know, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
So like the thing about schizophrenia is like often what will end up happening is some people will have waves of like their psychosis when they're taking medication, when they're not taking medication, whatever. But like what's happened in this like hellscape of TikTok is people will have access to their phones and then will just document when they're having like psychotic episodes.
No.
Yes.
What? And like they're like videoing themselves and like cutting it into a reel.
Yes, exactly.
that edit's not good enough.
literally what I
should
thought.
probably cut myself into that.
Following trends while having a psychotic break. It's wild. It's wild. What? Like there's one, I can't remember what the page is called, but her name is Helen something. And I had no idea how this works, but she was in a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah.
And she was like documenting her progress. And you can see her like having fixed delusions, and then over time they just go away.
No, you're gonna make me look like such a bad person.
No, but we're not laughing. We're not laughing.
No, I'm not. I'm laughing at the absurdity of what the world has become. Exactly. By social media.
Exactly.
Just want to clarify.
Exactly. That's the crazy thing. But the thing is that like not even in a take the piss way. The thing that is good about it is why
I just can't imagine someone like
I'll show you. It's such a real thing. It's
show me. You, maybe after. You can show me now if you want.
You're fine. Let me see if I can even find it. But yeah, like the thing is, you talk. Actually, you fill the time. You'd fill the time.
No, I just can't imagine someone just going, oh, you know, maybe I make sure I've got like the captions in, and is the like what this is about.
No, but that's the thing. That's the thing that I find the most interesting about it is like that it's kind of like a trend.
Right.
Like it's not just like one person. You know, I'm never gonna.
Yeah. Send it to me now.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'll let you know in a tweet.
But that's the thing. That's the worst part about it is that it's just not just one person. Like it's like a trend. But it's like, at what point do you just go, you know what, the followers aren't worth it. The followers are just not worth it.
Probably on the first video, I would argue. It's like, I don't know. Where would you? I would say that would be where I would. That's the line for me.
Yeah, no,
that's the line for me.
Because it's so bad. It's so bad because like, I like to differentiate between comedians online,
okay,
and people who are online for its own sake. I don't know if that's just like a highfalutin thing that I have in my head, where I'm like, I feel we're trying to entertain.
Okay.
Whereas like other people on social media, it's about the fame itself.
So you're a snob.
Exactly.
You're a content snob, aren't you?
Exactly. I'm a content snob. I'm like those people at theatre school who are like, what we're doing is art.
Oh, I love it when people post Shakespeare speeches.
Oh, what?
Or, like they'll be like, to be. Oh, this is my Hamlet. To be or not.
Not to be. Nah.
But like as a reel, but obviously the speech is so fucking long.
Yeah,
like, it's like 2 minutes. Like, mate, no one's watching that.
No one's watching that. I love how that's the main problem with that is the fact that it's too long. But I think like TikTok is trying to make some videos like 10 minutes now or something.
Oh mate, they all try and do that. Like didn't Instagram do that where they were like, yeah, come like IGTV.
Yes.
People need to remember, if I've slipped onto your IGTV, it is by mistake. I've opened my phone, but I don't watch it.
No, of course not. Of course not.
And maybe it's an older generation thing of like IGTV.
I don't even really know what it is. Like I knew it was there next to the video in Instagram, but the premise of IGTV, I couldn't even explain. I don't even know what it is.
I think people tune in. It's like live stream, isn't it?
Is it? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Okay, fine.
Someone who hates it, I know an awful lot about
you
it.
do. You really know. You got to know thine enemy, I guess.
Yeah.
No, man, it's so bad. I mean, because for me, I fuck with YouTube. That's like my thing.
Oh, as in like you post to YouTube or you?
I've started posting.
Okay.
So this will go out on YouTube.
Fantastic.
Because for some reason, it's like it used to be that YouTube was like the Wild West of content and all that stuff. But now YouTube is like the adult in the room, like compared to the rest. I don't know. Because I feel like YouTube is more trying to compete with like Netflix and stuff.
So if I take it back to your beef about like people just posting, because I think that is inherently quite funny. So you put yourself, and I would say like myself included, almost like comedy content creators. Yeah. I would say that's probably like good definition.
That's what we are. Yeah.
Versus like the vanity, like hi guys, I woke up and I went for a walk with my boyfriend. Then I had a coffee and
they're always
like,
whispering.
But I I have friends who do that. It's good. It's cool. Like if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But like it is amazing.
Yeah,
like,
no,
people were like the stories that like 35 stories in a day.
Yeah,
that is spectacular. I feel bad if I post 2.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. But like, even though I take the piss, it's like that is how you have to do it. That's the game now. That's the game. Like, if you want to just be a stand-up comedian or whatever, you can't just do comedy. Like, it has to be, oh, you do stand-up, and now what? Like, what are you doing? You got a podcast, you got social media, like what's going on?
Yeah, I always think about like, because imagine people like in the old, like obviously, I'm not saying this, but like you people in the old days, like, you know, you're Jimmy Carrs and your thing, like I always imagine them doing like TikToks at like our age.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so true as well.
Like reels like Michael McIntyre trying to like figure out like how to do a fucking reel.
Because if you're an impressionist, that's a great concept.
Yeah.
That's a great concept. I can't do impressions.
So much fun with that.
You
like
can.
Lee Evans doing a TikTok.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd be so good at that.
That's the thing. Oh, that's the thing, man. Like, so many of these people who like came before, like stand-up comedians and stuff, like I can't imagine them doing online stuff. But I guess they don't have to now. Like, their online stuff was TV, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's never really been a time when like people have been able to just do stand-up and then that's it.
But it's good though. I think for everyone that complains that it's like bad, I think it's like, in what other generation can you just make your own stuff? Like, let's say you don't have a gig or whatever, or like you're struggling to get gigs.
Yeah.
You just do 3 reels.
Yeah, no,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
Like no one can be like, oh yeah, not you tonight. Or like, sorry mate, the bill's full or whatever. Like, gaff people tell me when they don't want me on their bill.
Oh man.
What do you mean you fill out for 2 months? You put the form out yesterday.
That's not true. You liar. Man, though, like starting in London though must have been like tough. Like I can imagine, because for me, I started in Bristol, which is a bit of like a smaller London. But I feel like in London, audiences can be kind of savage. I don't know.
To be honest, I can't comment about audience like outside of, but I did a gig with a Bristol comic. No, about a year ago, and very early on, he was like, "Mate, I started in Bristol. I progressed so quickly."
Yeah.
Because also as well, I guess there's like not as much competition for spot. Is there more? Is there more availability for spots?
No, yeah, definitely. I think I used to think it was just London versus outside London, but now that I've moved to Brighton, there is a difference between like all the places, obviously. But like from my very limited gigging experience.
Okay.
It's like you have London, which is like the good nights are incredible. Okay. Like the clubs, the club where at
clubs,
the clubs, le club, los.
Up the creek.
Yeah, up the creek.
You going up the creek?
It's such a niche reference. Up that creek. Yeah, the good clubs are good. So like. Like Up the Creek, Comedy Store. If you can do that and you're a professional, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But if you're just starting out and you're doing open mics, a bringer will crush your soul. That's the kind of thing that you're doing a lot of the time. But in Brighton, for example, you have a lot of comedians, but not that much of an audience. Because a lot of the people go to London on the weekend or whatever if they want to see comedy. So it's like there's kind of this weird thing where there's loads of people who want to perform comedy, but they can't really get an audience. But there's not even like a comedy store or something. Like there's Comedia and The Forge, which are also like great clubs, but they don't have.
Yeah, they're great clubs.
They're great clubs. They're great clubs. Please put me on. But that, yeah.
Who do I email for a spot for that?
But yeah, like, but the thing is, there's not that many of them. But the thing about Bristol that was unique is because there was basically the people who live there are Londoners who left when they were young, so they are looking for a lot of the culture of London, but that they can't find in the West. So you get this kind of situation where there's a lot of people who are willing to go to like open mic nights or like give amateurs a chance, basically. So you get these nights that are actually like quite good, even though it's like no one is being paid and no one's really paying for it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's quite a good setup, but it's like it doesn't have its own club. There's no club in Bristol.
But do they just have like people running them in like pubs and stuff
Exactly,
like that?
yeah.
So that's still good. You can still get a pretty buzzy vibe.
Yeah, you can definitely. It's just there's no building that's like designated for comedy, but maybe you don't even need it.
Where's the fucking comedy, man?
Where's the comedy? Where's the comedy? It's like at the same time, I feel like we're in a point where loads of people care about comedy, and loads of people don't give a shit. I feel.
Have you gigging in London? Have you ever? What's been your best gig experience
in London?
What, as in worst, best, worst?
But worst.
Have you got a good
best.
story? Have you got a good story?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, yeah, definitely. So like, okay, this actually happened to me last week.
Okay.
So I was fortunate enough to win the Chortle student competition.
Congratulations! That was a while ago. That was before I met you, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was in like July or whatever.
Yeah.
And
no biggie, man.
and I essentially had like a local newspaper write about me because I was in Bristol.
Okay.
Because they liked the doctor and stand-up comedian angle. Okay, so that was
it's a good angle. It's objectively a good angle.
It's a good angle, but also not that uncommon of an angle as well. There's weirdly a lot of people.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, but so then they did the story about me, and then these people from UE, like University of West England University, reached out to me, like these first years who wanted to do like a project I can film, and they wanted to make like a 2-minute documentary about me. So they reached out and they were like, "Are you doing any gigs in London? We'll come and we'll see."
Yeah.
So then I applied to this gig in London. I won't say what it was.
Okay.
But
you tell me after.
Yeah. It was this gig in London, and I'd never been to it before. But I was just like, you know what? Who cares? Let them come, whatever. And I messaged the promoter, let him know. He was really nice about it. He was really nice afterwards, even though he had every right not to be. But I turn up, and the club is like underneath a restaurant. Fair enough, right? Yeah. It's like 3 rows of people, and like there's just this corner of these first year students with this fuck off camera just recording the set. So you had this situation where there were like 15 people in a room, a small room, which is already hard as well. And then you have these like first year youthful students like holding a boom mic, like trying to get
not the boom mic.
Exactly, yeah. And like they were just so there was like I think there were probably like 5 or 6 of them. So they were like a large chunk of the audience, and it was just sucked out the atmosphere of the whole thing. So I have to be the one who takes the blame for that, honestly. That was probably one of the worst that I've done, but it was my own fault.
Fair. Yeah. That's bad. And what is it will we get to see the documentary?
At some point.
Mockumentary.
But it was so silly because like I didn't even know what to say. I was just like, I haven't really done anything, because they interviewed me and I was just like, yeah, I'm a doctor, a stand-up comedian.
Did they film your set?
Yes.
Were you like, can I get the footage?
No.
Hey man, can you send me the footage?
No, I was not like. Well, they sent me the footage actually, and they were actually. The thing is, mad respect to them as well, because they came from Bristol like with 48 hours notice and came to my set because in the next 3 weeks, because I'm going on holiday, I don't really have any gigs in London. So mad respect to them. They came and they did it all. It's like such a quick turnaround, and then they left, went back to Bristol, and now they're editing it. So I can't wait to see it, but like. I feel so bad having put them through that thing.
Was it a bad gig?
It was a fine gig. It was just hilarious that I had forced this situation because I didn't know what the gig looked like. Like, honestly, the room was like about the size of this room.
Okay.
Yeah, about the size
I
of
can
this
see
room.
the problem with that.
Yeah, exactly. And then now you imagine like loads of camera equipment behind the audience as well. But yeah, that was probably one of my worst ones. That was probably my worst one. But there's always obviously like gigs where like you turn up and there's like 3 people and there's not really an audience, that kind of thing. Have you had that yet?
Yeah, I mean, you know, and you. To be honest, it's hard. It's hard. You know, when I think, you know, people try really hard to like promote stuff, but like at the end of the day, if people don't come. Like, yeah. What can you do?
Exactly, yeah.
And I think, yeah, like obviously it's a bit awkward when you're there and like you're supposed to start at 8 and like whoever's running it is like, oh yeah, we'll probably start like 8:15. Or they do the thing where they're like, I'm just gonna go and do a sweep, and they like come back like looking really dejected.
That is the worst. That is the worst, man. Honestly, but it's like the thing is, it's good though, because like now where things are, there's more nights and more comedians than they've ever been.
And I think as well, like, because I was speaking to someone recently who that happened. Like we were on this gig, and he luckily he was doubling up, but they cancelled it because no one rocked.
Oh my god!
So he was lucky. But before I was saying to him, I was like, or he was saying to me that people are upping their game with nights.
Really?
Like I think since the pandemic, the people who are coming through are like, no, we want to put on like decent nights. Like, so I think there's been a bit of a shift. Like people are being a bit more like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that specific night. I'd rather do like one where like someone's really put an effort into like promoting it, getting like a good audience.
Yeah.
Like it feels like there's been a shift.
Yeah.
But that shift also could be me just luckily being experienced enough to be invited to maybe like better gigs. Like it could be that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it works. I mean, because you get to a certain point where it's like the promoter is also competing to get comedians. Like the power dynamic kind of shifts after a certain point, because if you have a night that's known for not getting an audience, it's pretty hard to get comedians to come.
Yeah, of course.
That's the thing. Like it's so tough. But God, man, have you ever tried like when you're writing? Like, how does it work for you? What do you do?
How do I write?
Yeah, how do you write? Yeah,
I do 10 jokes. I write 10 jokes a day.
Yeah,
and then I then rewrite those after like a 3-week period.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so you write 10 jokes?
10 jokes a day.
A day?
Yeah.
And then
they're like, it doesn't matter, like they can be like absolute pants, which like, you know, as 10 jokes a day, like, out of like 60 jokes in the week, probably got like 3 or 4 bangers.
Yeah.
Like people probably watching me like, I've watched his stand up, there are no bangers in there. What's he talking about? What's this guy fucking talking about?
Is it like setup and punchline?
Yeah, so setup. Actually, I'm doing with a shout out. Can I promo? Yeah. Amanda Baker's course at Angel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like unbelievably, and Abby Grant, Amanda Baker and Abby Grant.
Oh,
two,
nice.
Like, wonderful tutors.
Nice.
So if anyone's like a fledgling comic, try and do that course, man.
Nice.
So we started off like 60 jokes in the week, so set up, punchline or whatever, and you could make like from the joke category, and there's like 50.
When did you start?
I started back in September.
Okay.
I'm now doing it again.
Oh, you're doing you're doing the course again?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
It was that good, man.
Oh man,
it was really good. And I so now we're doing five setups, 5 punchlines.
Yeah.
So people who are doing it again are doing 5 setups, 5 punchlines.
Yeah.
Still doing on your 60s. You're still doing 10 a day.
Yeah.
5 setups, 5 punchlines.
Yeah.
And then next week it'll be 5 setups, 5 punchlines, 5 new developments, but across the 10 a day.
I see.
Yeah.
So what do you think that does?
I think it just like certainly something. This is quite like geeky comic stuff, but like,
I mean, where do you think?
No, I know
you're insane.
No, I know. Certainly, like I've noticed a real difference this week and last week where we started doing like multiple punchlines. The avenue and option of like where you can take a joke is like suddenly way better. Like, you're less precious about like the outcome or whatever. You're like, oh, I'll try it like that, I'll try it like that. Who's in the joke? I'll pull that person in, I'll pull that person in. Like, so like, yeah.
Why? What? Because of the volume?
I think just the volume. She's
precious.
like, I was like, I literally spoke to her on Monday. I was like, my head hurt. She was like, good.
That's actually that's so interesting. Yeah. Because the thing, like, there's basically 2 schools of thought, isn't there, with writing? It's like, oh, either you write when you get like a flash, or you write meticulously every day.
But I'm definitely on the second school of thought.
Really?
Yeah, because I think like if you're gonna wait for like inspiration to hit, like, I mean, unless you're like God's gift, you're gonna be waiting a fucking long time.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. Some people do have that whole thing where they're like, I don't write jokes, man. I just get on stage and I'm myself. Yeah. It's like, okay, fine, you're the outlier.
Yes,
but for all us like mortals who like
mere mortal.
And so that's probably my technique.
Nah, that is interesting. Yeah, no, I think that is probably more helpful, especially because, God, you just have to pull the creativity out. That's the thing. Like, have you ever read The War of Art? I always have to think about.
Is it not Art of War?
Yes, there is the Art of War, and then there's also the
War of Art.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out.
That's why I had to like stop for a second and think the War of Art. So,
the Art of War is a very different creative.
So the Art of War is Sun Tzu's book.
Okay.
War of Art is this guy. I think it's like his name is Steven Pinker or something. And he has this way of looking at like art as like you have to just do the work. So to be like an artist, a comedian, a writer, whatever, you have to be like see it yourself as like a professional. Yeah. So it's like. And there's this idea of like the muse, which is the inspiration or whatever. And he's like, the only way that comes is if you do the work.
Yeah.
Like you don't just stand there and get an idea for a joke. You actually have to work.
Like some like French nude painting, just like on the back of like a shed long.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I've recently tried is using AI to write premises.
Someone suggests that, and you see a few of the online guys being like, write a joke in this style, or something. How do we get on with that?
I mean, at the moment, it's pretty bad. It's not like if you say to it, write a joke in the style of Chris Rock, it will just write a race-based joke. That's okay. But it won't even be funny. But what it's good about is like saying, here's a premise. Tell me something about this that annoys people, or tell me something about this that people find entertaining. And then you can use that to be like, okay, that's an emotion in that premise. Let me see if I can write something about that.
Yeah. I imagine it's really good for like listing stuff.
Exactly, yeah. But fucking hell, it's just such a... Are you scared of AI or anything?
Am I scared of AI? Yeah, that is a big old question.
Yeah, I mean, where are you? Yeah.
Where am I scared of AI? I mean, I'm probably scared of lots of things. I'm scared of the people above me in my flat. Like, walk around like 1 a.m. I'm like, fuck it.
Oh my God, you would be the first one gone, Terminator. Skynet is coming for you.
I'd be really good at like, if there was like an apocalypse, I'd be really good at like motivating people.
What, like being like a cult leader?
No. like they'd be like, okay, there's an apocalypse. I'd be like, guys, this is it. We got to focus. And then I'd be dead within like half a day.
Oh man, that's so funny.
I definitely, if there was some sort of like world war, I'd probably. I did my ACL a few years ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah, fine.
So I'd probably say like, oh, my knee, like just put me in the kitchens or something like that, and I have to like make soup like off the front line.
Wait, do you still cook?
Yeah, I do. I cook for myself, obviously, and like other people. But and I do sometimes work for a mate of mine who has like a private catering thing.
Oh, nice. So like on your average week, like what are you doing? Is it mostly gigs, mostly cooking,
most gigs and cooking, gigs and eating, eating and gigs. That's a great life, man.
Just
eating and gigs, man. What does my like week look like? Yeah, I mean, I try and write. I write every morning, and then usually like stuff gets in the way, so that like goes out into the rest of the day, as in like eats into all the time. And then gig in the evening if I have one. If I don't have a gig, I try and do a vid. So
I see.
That's not all the time.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
gigs, vids, and
vids and eating.
Yeah, gigs, vids, and eating. A Hugo Hayes story.
That's his story, and like, it's pretty much my week.
Oh man, that's such a good week. What a life!
What a life!
What a life you find yourself in.
Yeah, and CrossFit as well. I do a lot of CrossFit. Actually, I use the CrossFit just around the corner.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh mate, that's sick.
Those weights won't lift themselves,
that's
man.
Terrifying. That is terrifying. I find CrossFit people are very scary, but you're so nice.
No, thank you. They can be. It's quite like culty.
Yes. It
really
is.
Culty.
How did you get into CrossFit? Tell me.
So my sister was she did her knee, but she was she played England lacrosse.
Okay.
And she used CrossFit, I think. If she watches this, she's gonna be like, "That's not fucking true." No, she was using CrossFit to like condition herself for like the World Cup and stuff like that. And then I was like, I'll join, and then here I am doing CrossFit. But I'd always been like very much into the gym, like when I was at school. Like, mental health and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course. So like, how does one define CrossFit? Like, all I know is it's for scary people who like shout when they lift weights.
I think it's for...
It's a way of life.
It's for people who don't know what to do with their repressed feelings.
Wait, in a good way?
Yeah, like in a good way. Like everyone who does CrossFit, they can't fucking move their bodies.
Oh man, that's so funny. So it's not a company, it's a way of exercising.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I think there is like a CrossFit I think there is a CrossFit banner, but like,
yeah, I feel like you haven't asked many questions about what CrossFit is.
What you want to know about, like the training, what it's like?
Yeah, like okay. So
oh, you weren't asking me like what it's like. What are the people like?
I am literally
going Freudian.
I know nothing about CrossFit. All I know is it's like, I feel like it's so it's like cardio, but also with weights. Is that a part of it? It's like squatting, like medium heavy, and just doing that over and over. Like, what is it?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, they have like the CrossFit Games where people compete. Mate, some of the guys and girls, like people. So like, I might get this exercise wrong, but like a clean and jerk.
Yes,
I think is one where you go like that. And like 150 kgs above your fucking head.
My God.
You don't appreciate how good people are.
Yeah.
Until you're like, sorry, you're going to chuck that above your head. Man, I can barely squat more than like 90 kgs.
I mean, even that's decent.
That's not bad. That's like a good squat.
Yeah.
I just fluff my own.
Hugo Hayes.
Yeah.
Thing is, no, because like I feel like CrossFit was always that thing that people did at uni when they were like hardcore. That was always the thing that I got from it.
Yeah, I think obviously it's like it's a mixture of like big compound movements and then like cardio.
Yeah,
that's literally what it is.
Yeah, okay, fine.
That's the definition you're looking for.
Yeah, there it is. We got there. We got there. That's what
you guys just going around the fucking houses.
No man. Yeah, no, it's the kind of thing that I want to try, but it's like, are people nice to beginners?
Yeah. They are. No one's unkind. Yeah. No, like I've never, like, just for the record, I've not gone into us and been like, these guys are dicks. But like, I think like, do you know what? It is a bit like when you're starting out stand up. Yeah. Like, you know, the experienced guys are like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Because actually I'd use the analogy of like stand up, the muscle, like the muscle of like you building it up. You know, it's a bit like being in the gym.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, obviously people refer. That's not my analogy. That's just an analogy.
Yeah.
And I would say like those guys who are or guys and girls who are doing those like big tours and whatever, they're doing the 150 kg.
Yeah.
You know.
No, yeah, that is true.
And they've built up to that, just like reps.
There are levels to everything, man.
Yeah.
There are levels to everything. Even like, this is a very meta point.
Okay.
Even like this now, I thought this would be easy.
Right.
It's actually like doing a podcast. I mean, because I had a podcast before this.
I did some research before. I was like, I'm just gonna find out what I've got myself in. And then I listened to 5 minutes. And I was like, this will be fine.
That's a joke. No, but yeah. So like, I had a podcast before that was like interviewing comedians and stuff. And it was weird because I thought, you know, people just get on and they just talk or whatever. But it's like, it's hard, like doing this, even though when you're looking at it, it's just like people sitting here having a conversation. But it's like the having to think about what to talk about. Should you have a topic going in, how to structure it, even the editing afterwards. But it's like, it's kind of like doing stand up, like it is literally, there are just levels to everything.
Do you have like a topic of stuff you want, like, or do you just have it in your head, or you're just like, I'll just see where it goes?
In this,
yeah.
I have topics that I can go to, but I let the conversation.
You're like, crazy weather out there.
Yeah. Yeah, just major geopolitical issues just in the back burner with 2 minutes left.
When you're like whoever's on is just like looking out the window like, oh shit.
Yeah, just like fucking hell.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Even like the thing is, I was like, I don't even know what like tone to strike with the podcast. Do I want it to be funny? Do I want it whatever? But then someone suggested this backdrop for me.
This guy with the lemons, man.
Nah, look at him with the lemons. So yeah, like because I was like, I don't know, because obviously doctor, stand-up comedian. I don't know whether to go to like more serious or more funny or whatever. So I was like, Sweet Lemons.
Sweet Lemons, man.
Sweet Lemons. Do both. And that was where the laughing thing came from. But like I think we're running out of time.
We are.
I think we're about to run out of time.
Perfect.
Do you have anything you want to publicize?
Do I have anything I want to publicize? You can follow me on Instagram.
Oh, really?
At Hugo Hayes. I won't follow you back, but
so kind.
Just gonna put it out there.
So kind.
You can follow me.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here, man. It's been honestly such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. I mean, people always go for the handshake. I love it.
Well, as I came in, I was like, I'm gonna give him a hug or a handshake. And I could see you were like, oh, this guy's handshake.
I was gonna go for like this thing, you know, where people do that and then hug.
I always get that wrong.
Do you?
The worst is when ages ago, I met someone's like dad for the first time.
Yeah.
And he was doing some gardening.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey man. So he like had dirty hands. So he put his hand out like that.
Oh.
I went to like give him a high five. I just ended up doing that.
Oh, that is the worst. That is the worst. I watched the most awkward thing. Like one of the other doctors was like talking to one of the consultants, like the senior doctor. And then one of the consultants, he was like pointing behind her, but he was doing this. And then she just comes out and extends the fist bump. And then they both fist bump. It was the most cringe thing I've ever seen from that. All right, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you later. Bye. Bye, everyone.